good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching us from. It's early in the morning. This is the Edward Fowler show here, and for the first time, we got the first ever Love Island contestant / model / pro wrestlers join us live on the air. So welcome along to my guest today, Matthew. And I apologize if I mispronounced your second name, Zukowski.
Zukowski. Pronounced Zukowski, yeah.
Good job.
Zukowski. How are you, mate?
Good. How are you doing today? Are you doing well in Australia?
Well. What's the time over there?
8:10 in the morning.
Oh, okay. Not too early then.
No?
Not too early.
It's like a morning breakfast show, as this feels like.
Yeah. Well, this is the drive home show over here. It's 5 here.
Not too bad.
What's Are you guys in lockdown over there?
Kinda. Well, things are back open over here now, so we've eased lockdown now, so it's not too bad.
Oh, okay. Here in Victoria, in Australia, Melbourne, it's full lockdown. We're in like stage 4.
All right.
You can't leave the house for longer than an hour.
Crikey.
Yeah, it's pretty full on.
Well, hopefully it lifts this, and hopefully it will get better for you and be able to socialise. We've
got 2 weeks left. So 2 weeks left.
Oh, good, because at first Australia did a very good job of keeping the virus, minimal effect, and then of course I know that you got into lockdown and then you came out and you come back in some parts of Australia. So hopefully it won't be too long before you can have all the luxurious like the rest of us are here in the UK. Because I know you've got.
Yeah, well, we didn't. At the start, we didn't even know what it was. We had like 1 case.
Yeah.
So we were just like, oh, yeah. But then it slowly grew and grew and grew.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it does.
So it does, but hopefully it won't last forever, and we do hope you can come back over here to the UK to see your family and such, because I know you have family in some parts.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You just told me a minute ago off the air, so it's quite nice. So talk to me about you. Why did you decide to go on to Love Island season 2 then in Australia? Because it was something different for you, because you come from the world of, I think, modelling and pro wrestling beforehand, and then you went into Love Island. What enticed you?
Yeah, so my mate from modelling went on the first season. Justin Lacker, I don't know if anyone's watched it. He was on the first season. And then he just said to me, he was like, I know how it works and how all that. And he's like, you would be the perfect personality for it. And I laughed at the time. I was like, all right. I was like, whatever. So he put my name forward. And then they reached out to me. And then they said, like, this doesn't mean that you're going to be on the show. It's just like, we like your look, blah, 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 so on. So I was like, oh, okay. So I filled in all the forms, did all the interviews, and the next thing you know, they actually ended up picking me. Good
to hear.
I know it was a whirlwind. Like it happened real quick, and then next thing you know, I was on a plane to Fiji.
Nice. And so what about? Did you expect everything in Love Island then to be where it was as you applied, then as your friend applied for you then, or did you, or was it completely different than what you thought it might have been when you entered the villa?
Look, I went in with an open mind. I was like, all right, look, like it's, you know what I mean? Like I don't know what to expect. My mate sort of told me about what to expect, but obviously nothing can prepare you for that sort of situation. Do you know what I mean? Like cut from the outside world, no contact on phones, nothing like that. You're stuck in like. It's almost like, I joke about it saying it was like a glorified prison almost, but it wasn't really, but you know what I mean? Like you're fully cut off, so nothing really prepares you for that situation. But yeah, I had a lot of fun.
That's good to hear. I'm glad you had fun. And you came as the runner-up on the show as well, which is very sad, wasn't it, Ray? Because, you made it so far, and, we all thought you were going to win it, and then, runner-up.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, we got it over here in the UK, yes, on ITV, yes, because they've got nothing else to show. So they show season 2 of Australian Love Island.
Oh, okay, so you watched it, yeah. So you'd know that I didn't really have the easiest time in there. Mine was a bit... I was a bit of a roller coaster for me. So, yeah, I didn't... Like, it was good to come runners up. At the end of the day, Anna and Josh deserved to win. So I didn't really care that much about, like, coming runners up. But I just was happy that the whole experience was sort of coming to an end, and I could see my family in that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what was the reaction like as well when you left the villa after you came the winner? What was the reaction like? Did you gain a lot more people on your social media, on Instagram and such like that? Or
yeah, obviously going on that sort of show when it is based around Instagram, like they're constantly promoting it on Instagram and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, everyone comes off with a following, but the more thing that was really weird was, and when it sort of hit me, was me and Anna flew to Melbourne because we both live in Melbourne, and we were walking through the airport, and like people were like talking about us. Do you know what I mean? Like pointing at us, and it was sort of like you're like, okay, you've been like locked. I was locked away for like 7 weeks, so you're like, all right, this is weird. And then like we came out, so you know how you come through the international things at an airport,
Yeah.
And like everyone was waiting, obviously, for their family and friends, and then they saw us, and everyone was like, "That's Mama!" Like, and they full like, and then taking photos with us. So that was sort of when it was like, "Whoa, this is different." You know what I mean?
Yeah, because all the attention was about you. Because I'm going to guess that it was the most watched reality show in Australia at the time.
Yeah.
And
Everyone, even if like, and for me as well, even if no matter when you tuned in, I was there from start to finish.
Yes, you was.
Do you know what I mean?
You did all 35 days. Yes.
Yeah, so you saw my face no matter what.
And that's the main thing.
Unlucky or lucky, I guess.
You are, because it just shows that the people loved you so much and that they want to see you every single day. Even if you were going through a hard time, they still want to see you
they still
on
want
TV.
to see you go through a hard time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, I got to say as well, I do like your background here on our show with these NWO as well. Nice 2 Street there as well. And
yeah, I'm a massive mark for the Outsiders. I love Kevin Nash and Scott Hall.
Yeah,
they're like, I based my wrestling character Charlie Matthews pretty much around them.
Cool. I've seen some footage of yours in PCW on the network, PCW network, by the way, which is not that bad, really. You know, it's like £7 here in the UK money. Of course, is it like $4.99 Australian money or something like that?
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
No. So it'll be the other way around. So it'd be like 14. So
right, okay.
That's how it works. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So you double it. Well, yeah. So it's 7 there, it'll be $14 here, which is still cheap.
It is still cheap, and the reason I'm plugging this because my guest here he appeared on the network in a few shows, and done some powerful moves on his opponents, like a power bomb, and some of these crazy
move for the Jack.
Yeah, and like you are quite, you're quite tall because in Love Island, I couldn't really tell because of the heights and stuff. But I mean, in on PCW, you are really taller than most of the other guys in PCW. Are they all scared of you by your physique and power you have?
No, I mean, do you want me to work or do you want me to shoot on you? What do you want
to... Feel free. Whatever works for you.
Everyone knows me, so they know that I'm a big teddy bear. But sometimes in there, I do have a tendency to be a bit more stiff with them sometimes. So when I get fully into it and I'm fully engulfed in the crowd, but no one's scared of me. No one's
scared of you. Well, I think they should be scared of you because after being the one up in Love Island, you probably were quite mad at yourself and wanting to let some frustration out. So what a best way to do so? And beating up some smaller guys in some wrestling.
Yeah, I know, definitely did. I had a match. Did you catch the match when I first came out against
yes,
Matty Wahlberg?
I did. Great debut.
Yeah, that was a good match.
It was.
I was one of my best matches, I felt. He brought me up to his level.
Yeah, most definitely.
He was so he was a Survivor. He was off Australian Survivor. So it was like Battle of the Reality Stars. That was a good match.
That's interesting.
But I did get to throw out and unleash some of my anger from coming runners up on him.
You did indeed.
Jackknife.
And hopefully as well, after hopefully your lockdown lifts over soon, hopefully you guys can go back and actually put on some new shows for the PCW network, even though maybe it's not in front of live crowds because of the current situation we live in, but maybe just hopefully produce some shows for some people online at PCWnetwork.com or even...
Yeah, we were lucky that
other places.
Right before... So when we went into stage 2 lockdown, we couldn't do it in front of a live audience, but we pre-recorded, I think it was like 4 or 5 shows in one day, one night.
That's cool.
We started at like 2 p.m. and finished at like 10 p.m.
Wow.
I think think I wrestled like 4 matches.
I bet
Yeah, so
you're exhausted because I bet you're not used to doing that all in one go. You like wrestle 1 match a night, not like 4
yeah.
in one night.
It was exhausting. It was. And then like, so we did that. I was poor the next day. Not gonna lie. I was quite sore.
Now, I got to ask you this question as well because we'll go back to wrestling in a minute. But The Bachelor, I don't know what The Bachelor is all about, but it was broken a few weeks ago. Now, I got in contact with you. You were the hardest guest to get on my show. You were the toughest negotiation I've done so far of any year I've done this because you were very tough.
Yeah.
But we got there in the end. But I mean, when I first contacted you, the news didn't break. But then all of a sudden, news articles came out about you and your new relationship with the star from The Bachelor. So now I know yesterday, as of if it was yesterday, I've seen your Instagram. You guys were doing a Q&A on her account, asking how you first met. But for anyone who may not have Instagram or may not even know that you two are together, how did you guys meet, and what is The Bachelor?
Okay, so The Bachelor is it's a show over here. So how it works is a guy. So there's The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. So a guy or a girl go on, and then like I don't watch it. I'm not gonna lie. I've never really tuned into it. It's been on in the background at my mum's house, so I've seen it here and there.
Gotcha.
But they get like a bunch. I think it's like 18 girls go into this mansion, and then there's one guy, and he just dates the whole lot of them, and eventually he ends up with one of them.
Okay.
So there's that. So that's my girlfriend now, Keira. She started on that show a couple of years ago. And then what happens from there is they put them on another show called Bachelor in Paradise. So Bachelor in Paradise is where from The Bachelorette and The Bachelor, the girls and guys who almost say get rejected, they go on and they get together. Sort of like Love Island.
Yeah.
That's the best way to explain it.
Gotcha.
It's like Love Island.
Gotcha.
They go on to that. And then so my girlfriend, she actually, funnily enough, was filming a season of Bachelor in Paradise the same time I was filming Love Island in Fiji, in like kilometers down the road. But obviously we didn't know that at the time. So her show's not live like Love Island. So Love Island has a 24-hour turnaround. Hers was like edited for like 8 months or something. It just aired. So I met her in January. Do you want me to tell the story?
Yeah, feel free. Feel free to.
It's pretty funny. So we were at a nightclub or a bar, whatever you want to call it, in Melbourne, and I was like walking past, and I saw her, and I went up to her, and I was like, "You're cute." And then she just looked at me, and she's obviously a lot older than me, so she was probably like, "Who's this young, good-looking guy telling me I'm cute?" So then she said that, like, she was just like, "Oh yeah," and then I was like, slide into my DMs. So I like pulled my phone out to like get her number or get her Instagram, and then she's like, "How about you slide into my DMs?" And then she like took the phone off me and typed her name in, and then I was just like, she was like walking out the door at the time, so I was just like, "All right, we'll catch you later then." And then funnily enough, messaged her the next day. We were getting lunch like that Wednesday, and then like we're on another date that Saturday, and we're like pretty inseparable ever since. Yeah, but because of her show, so this is where you say how the news got broken.
Yeah.
Because of her show, we could say we were dating. So we were in secrecy for like, I think like 5 months. Nearly 5 months, 6 months. We had to keep it secret that we were dating. Yeah. A lot of people were like commenting when we came out there saying it was Australia's worst kept secret. Because obviously we weren't posting on social media about it, but when we weren't in lockdown, we were going out, we were doing everything together. So it was pretty obvious to like people.
Yeah.
We're both public figures, so they all recognised us.
I'm quite surprised how you were able to keep it so secretive for like 5 or 6 months, and like how nobody picked up about anything at all. So very well done to you guys.
It was, yeah. I mean, like we were getting papped a fair bit. So we were getting papped because they were like, obviously, we put up stories at like the same place, but not of the same thing. So we'd get them, but obviously we'd like negotiate with them and say like blah blah blah, so they wouldn't release the photos. But then as soon as the show, as soon as she got released that she was on the show, they'd all got published straight away. So I sort of ruined the show for a lot of fans.
Well, it made Channel 9 News. That's where I first saw it. Was on Channel 9 News. Yes, I know what Channel 9 News is all about.
Yeah.
That's the home of Love Island, Australia, isn't it? Channel 9.
Yeah, that is.
There you go. See,
Yeah,
look at me. I know about Australian TV. Not.
Yeah.
That's one of the names I know of. But that was the article I saw from there, and then I saw it from the Daily Mirror here in the UK. So it made global headlines everywhere, and I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody leaked it out earlier. Because usually with these big public figures like yourselves, it somehow leaks out, doesn't it? But luckily you're able to catch them before they did it.
Yeah,
beforehand.
like we just, I mean, I don't want to go too much into that details,
please
but
don't.
like, yeah, they at the end of the day they posted it. They realized when best to post or when to release it.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
They knew that, like, yeah, they were smart. They knew when it would get the most thing.
Yeah. I want to say as well, because I know over here and over there, you guys have I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, using in Australian jungle. Have you ever thought of going on to that show? Because I'm sure they've been contacting to be on the show either in Australia or in an international version of that show. Will you ever go on it if you were given the opportunity to do so, or is that not something you would want to do?
Put it this way, I definitely would be interested in going on.
Interesting.
We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, we can rule out the UK version because they're staying here in the UK due to the quarantine measures.
They normally film it in Australia, don't they?
They do, yeah, but not this year. For the
Gold
first time
Coast.
ever. For the first time ever, they're not doing so because of the whole coronavirus. They're staying right here in the UK in the cold this year. So I feel so for the celebrities because it will be very cold in a castle here in the UK. So
in a castle?
Yeah, in North Wales.
Because we normally film in South Africa. That's where my missus did it. She did it in South Africa a couple of years ago. But I've heard that they might use the set of the Australian one, of the English one this year in Australia.
That'd be interesting. Yeah,
so,
why not? Why not?
Yeah.
At least they get used one way or another.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if you guys aren't using them, we may as well.
Yeah, it's quite crazy to think why you guys use South Africa and we use your Australian jungle. It's very bizarre. I always thought it was only filmed in Australia. That's why I assume why the UK version goes to Australia to use the same set. But obviously that's not the case. So very different.
Well, I mean, a couple of the people that go on there are probably just going to be like driving down the road if it's in Australia.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they can just walk there, can't they? Depending where they live.
Yeah, it's just down the road.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Now, let's talk about as well. I'm wondering about this as well. Your modelling career. How did that all start? Did someone inspire you, or what happened there as well? Because you've done a lot of modelling for a lot of things.
Yeah, look, I tell a story about how I got into it, but to be honest, I remember waking up one day and my mate from my area was sort of doing it here and there, and I was like, you know what? Like, people say I could be a model. Literally, people were like, you could be a model. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just message him. So I messaged him and I was like, hey, mate, how'd you get into modeling? And he just sent me on to, at the time, ended up becoming my manager. So he passed me on to Greg and then he said, look, you've got to look. Let's take some photos of you. At the time, actually, I lost, I think, 20 kilos because I was playing Aussie rules here. Gotcha. So I was really big, like pretty muscly and all that. And he's like, look, like, obviously, you know how sample sizes work in modelling. Mm-hmm. So he was like, you're not going to fit into any sample clothes, looking like that. So I went back for a month, like changed my whole diet, my training routine, dropped like nearly 20 kilos at that point, and then did my first photo shoot. And it sort of like just snowballed from there. You know what I mean? Like he has connections, he'd post or send off my photos to agencies, ended up getting signed in Milan, did 2 seasons in Milan, walked Milan Fashion Week. Didn't get signed in London, but I did free agent work there, and it just like, you know what I mean? And then eventually, I sort of got over it. I sort of was like a bit like, this isn't really what I want to do. So then I started wrestling, but then obviously since coming off Love Island, I've back up again, and so I've signed now with IMG Models, the biggest agency in the world. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, and never say never as well, because you might get to do some modelling again here in London, hopefully, and you never know, they might sign you as well. But I'll tell you a story as well, because there was a modelist who's no longer a model now. She's does more TV stuff, but she was a modelist at the time and years ago. And Kim Jong Un in North Korea had used her face and on a new video for his people in North Korea recently. So I'm just saying it might happen as well that way. So because you never know what.
Did she get a royal?
I don't think so. She knew about it. Someone told her that
really?
after the fact. Yeah. So I don't think she did.
Yeah, not from you either.
I know. But I mean, it's creative how what can just happen in the world. Like leaders of the world can just use people's faces and videos of them and just use them for other things to promote what they want to promote.
Her agency should probably be working better for her and make sure that Kim Jong Un isn't stealing her photos.
Yeah,
and she's getting compensated for the usage of her face.
Most definitely. So what are some of your projects you want to? You're currently involved in, and what other future projects do you want to be involved in? And is there any particular cities you would like to work in or want to visit if you've not had the opportunity to do so as of yet? And of course,
do what with wrestling or modelling?
Both, everything really.
Both.
Yeah, in general.
I wouldn't mind going back to the States, and I think I've got the look for modelling for LA, and obviously the wrestling over there in LA is pretty good, so wouldn't mind going there and then to New York. Yeah, but obviously I would love to go back to London, model there, and wrestle over in England. If the wrestling scene's still big over there, they've still got NXT UK over there.
NXT UK, which is going to be in London in the BT Sports studio because of the whole coronavirus. But yeah, they come to not far from here, Blackpool, only an hour from where I am, here in this part of Manchester. So yeah, not that far away. And because wrestling is still quite big over here, so perhaps you could wrestle right here in Manchester, UK. Or in London as well at some point in the near future, hopefully.
Obviously, with wrestling around the world, wrestling different people, obviously gets you better at it.
True.
The more people I work in different countries, different styles I learn, the better I get.
I want to know this as well. Like that you came out of Love Island and you got all this big reaction which you know about. Were people surprised to learn that you also did wrestling as well before you went into Love Island, or because I bet when those people knew that, and then of course when you went back to wrestling events, I bet people were surprised that it was you who were in Love Island as well, or maybe new people just came to the wrestling shows just to see you because they know you from Love Island.
Well, yeah. So first of all, in the people in there didn't actually understand for a while what I meant by wrestling.
Gotcha.
When they introduced me, they thought I meant
amateur wrestling,
mixed martial arts sort of thing, like Olympic wrestling.
Gotcha.
And then constantly had to explain to them, no, I mean like the WWE style wrestling. And then what I say it all the time, people then when I say that get more confused. They're like,
what?
Well, what? How do you do that? Yeah, what's that? And then I have to explain it to them in more depth. But no, when I came out, the funny thing was I left in PCW for Love Island, like one of the top heels. I was like the number one bad guy. Charlie Matthews was like, and everyone hated me. And then the thing was, I went on the show, and obviously they didn't see me as the role of Charlie Matthews. They saw me actually as Matthew Zukowski.
Yeah.
So I came back, and obviously I was a face. Like they were cheering me. But the funny thing was, because we didn't really know what the reaction was going to be.
Yeah, it's quite hard to tell, isn't it? After something this big.
Yeah. So then you got a couple hundred people there. It was a big show, and the promoter was like, all right, look, we'll do this spot where you run in and we'll judge it, how they react, blah, 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 interfere in this match. And what I was meant to do was I was meant to beat up the good guy.
Yeah.
So I'm called the good guy, and then the bad guy was going to win. But the reason I was doing that, because at the time, it's a long story, he had a manager that was my manager, and I was cutting ties with her, like I was saying we're even now sort of thing. So I came out, got this massive pop, everyone was cheering me, and then I start beating up on their good guy face. So everyone's just going, and it's just a massive silence. Everyone's like, what's he doing? And then jackknifed him and just walked out, and I swear to God, it was the most awkward thing ever. Everyone was just like, well, he's back, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't know what to expect.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it's quite a confusing situation, but are you happy to be a a baby face, a good guy now, or do you prefer being that vicious,
I prefer
heel?
My character Charlie Matthews is a heel. He's not a face.
Good.
It's too. I can't you can't do anything. None of my signature moves. Nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like nothing goes for a baby face.
You know, my other favorite wrestler in PCW it's Sid Parker. I like Sid Parker.
Yeah.
He's quite a crazy individual, don't you think?
I've had some really good matches against Sid. I like a lot of my wrestling peers. Do you know Wake? He's like brother in it.
Yeah.
The other guy with face paint. That a lot of my career has been like versing them because obviously you got like the pretty boy model versus the deranged, like whatever you want to call them, freaks, whatever. Yeah. So I've had a lot of good matches against Sid. Did you see my match against him at Grand Slam?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic
match.
match.
Really good workout.
Fantastic match as well.
See what we got into, like we had like 7 minutes or something ridiculous.
Wow.
And we just literally did it, and we still had that match in 7 minutes. Told a good ass story.
Yeah.
Put all the spots in.
Good because when you think of 7 minutes, you think, oh, this will be a whoosh match. It's not going to be enough time to build a story and deliver it in front of the fans. But when you actually
fatal 4-way as well.
Yeah.
Like to put everyone's
look at that. Even more stipulations involved. A fatal 4-way in less time. Usually they go within 15 to 20 minutes. These kind of fatal 4-way matches, but in this case, 7 minutes. Not enough time to really do anything. But you guys delivered. You guys shocked everybody of how you were able to put the match together, give a story, and deliver it within the 7 minutes time limit, which you were given. Cracking, absolutely cracking. This is why PCW is the premier.
On 7 as well. What we were nervous about going in was because there were so many spots in there. We were nervous about like letting the spots actually sink in.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Do you know much about you do it and then let the crowd That's what we're most nervous about in 7 minutes. Like we'd rush, but I think we nailed it. I think we honestly
did. You did, and that's why that's why I think PCW is the premier company in Australia, and that's why I think every other company has to watch and develop and see why PCW is the premier promotion in Australia. That's my own opinion, by the way. I'm entitled to that.
Oh, yeah.
You can give your opinion. You can argue with me if you want to about that.
It's we have the ability to deliver a show every week. So we can build storylines, which obviously in wrestling everyone knows storylines are what you're there for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, as soon as a match, other promotions do it once a month, once 6 weeks. So they're just random matches at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? There's no story behind them. There's no creative this is how they got here. So we're lucky enough to do that, and it definitely is transparent when we're in the ring wrestling. Yeah, I feel.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Right now, where can my listeners / viewers, because people might just have this on and listen in the background, whatever. Where can they find you on social media? Because I know you're on Instagram. If so, why not on Twitter or Facebook as well?
So I got Facebook, the Charlie Matthews. I got YouTube. I've just started. I'm actually getting edited right now. You'll be interested in this. A video. Everything with COVID slowed it down a bit, but it's a day in the life of Charlie Matthews on the day of Grand Slam.
Okay.
So I had a camera follow me around all day, backstage, all that sort of stuff, preparing the match and that. It's actually just watched a rough draft of the first half, and it's actually going to be a really good video. So I'm excited to do that. So that'll be on my YouTube channel, but mostly just focus on Instagram. That's what I'm on. If you want to follow Matt, it's at Matt Zukowski, and then Charlie Matthews is at the Charlie Matthews.
And he's linked him up because on his Matt Zukowski's Instagram, he does occasionally post pictures and videos of his work as Charlie Matthews and tag his account. So if you can't be bothered finding it that way, just go on Matt Zukowski's account and you can find it that way as well. You just link him up that way as well. Yeah. And you're close to 100,000 Instagram followers on there as well, by the way. So congratulations.
Thank you. That will, the 100 will haunt me, I reckon. I got to 101, and then now I've dropped down to 99, and I just can't seem to crack that ton again.
Well, you got 99.6k followers. I'm one of them people who have followed you on there as well, so to help you to get to 100,000. So what's next for you then? What's going to be next in the next few months? Hopefully, Who knows?
Oh, mate. At this point, I just want to get through the next couple of weeks, get out of stage 4, and then look, whatever happens at this point. I was kind of bummed out a couple of weeks ago because we went into this just as things started to pick back up. But like at the end of the day, I'm just staying optimistic. I can't wait for like shoot studios to be open again so I can model. Can't wait to go to gym. I haven't been to gym since March, man. January, February, March, yeah. So I can't wait even to go to gym just to get back in the wrestling ring. So yeah.
Wow. Well, there we go. Well, you can keep up all things to do with Matt on Instagram with his training and with his new YouTube channel as well, vlogging. Mysterio, because there's a poll in Liverpool yesterday apparently saying that more people have changed careers since lockdown came into effect, and one of these careers is becoming a YouTuber, so maybe they can watch you and learn from you as well. But make sure all of that.
Yeah, definitely watch it. I'll definitely share it as soon as it on my Instagram, as soon as it's up and ready. Just like tweaking a little things. The put too much behind the scenes and get too much business away.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, there we go. Thank you to Matt for coming on the show at short notice. We're not short notice, but I mean, we've been negotiating, I think, since June or July. It's been a while, but thank you for accepting to come on the show, by the way, because we had.
That's right, man.
Go on.
Yeah, I was just trying to find the best time, obviously, because of the time difference, and then there's been heaps of stuff, like just random stuff, and then I'd be like, oh, I got to do this, you know what I mean, shoot this content.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good that we found a time, linked up.
Yes, we did. Finally we got there. Because we had another star from Australia to do with music in Melbourne as well, called Tyro Witchy. He's a singer/songwriter. He came on the show a few months ago as well, so you're like the second or third Australian to come on the show this year. So we're getting a lot of Australian people on the Edward Fowler show, more than England. So there you go. England, America, and Australia are the places to go for great people. We hope you'll come back on the show again soon once we know more about what you're doing in the next year. And
get back in contact with me once everything's done, and I've actually got some more stuff to tell you.
Yes.
Once life's back to normal.
Yes. Whenever it will be, hopefully be soon. Coming up here on the Fowler show. Again, we don't know when the next person will come on the show. But I do have one more thing to say to you is any recommendations or suggestions of who I should contact next to come on this show?
Oh, man, it's up to you. Wrestlers, I guess. Contact some more wrestlers from PCW.
More wrestlers from PCW. There we go. Nice suggestion there. Because we bring on different people all the time here on the Fowler show. We're not just for one people. We're not for one topic. We're loads of different topics. But there we go. Until the next episode drops,